have sports statistics about every single player in all these 4 sports leagues: National Hockey League, Football League, basketball, and baseball. And on our website, we currently have a picture of the player here, a large picture. I can show you his picture in a second. Hang on.
Okay.
Let me show you his picture on the current website at sportsforecaster.com. So this is what his page looks like now. See, with a photo of him in the head in the corner and then an action picture here. See?
Yes.
And we want to replace it. And here we're using the wrong uniform on the guy, but we want to replace it with a 3D model that you can, zoom in around and change to different positions. Here he is holding a stick. Here he is taking a shot. See?
Yeah.
So we want to replace this. Let me zoom out. Oops. Replace the two-dimensional picture with a 3D model, and then let the people put their own graphics around there. So you can write I like, Adam. So the user can write whatever messages they want, as if they're putting together a graphic that they themselves can share on social media.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's the object, is to make it not just a picture here that you can look at right here, but to make it kind of a fun tool that lets you customize how the whole thing, how it looks.
Okay. I will create a different records in 3D, yeah?
Different what?
Different position.
Yeah, so as far as the 3D goes, we're working already with some 3D artists to rig up different positions, and then we have another artist who is helping create all these heads. See, we have one hockey player body here, and we reuse that body for all the hundreds of players that we will have. We have variations of the body for tall players and short players and regular height, but it's the same body. And then it have different textures for the uniform. So here I can actually show you. Let me show you. Hang on. I can change the uniform from one jersey to another jersey. See? Another uniform.
Yes.
So that's the idea, is that we're building all these textures that you can swap out all the uniforms for all the 32 teams. And then we want a different head for all, 800 hockey players. It will have hopefully something like 800 heads.
800?
800, yeah. So there's a lot of players in the hockey league.
Okay. You can give me a first task. I want to try it, Mike.
Yeah, so we've set up a page with all sorts of different tasks that need to be done. This right here gives you an overview of our system. And then here we have a QA page that has links to all the hockey players that are working. So we have almost 50 hockey players here that we have created pages for. So you can just pick any of them and try it out. But what is it we want done? Well, we want different kinds of backgrounds done, 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional backgrounds. which we could buy, or you could make them, yourself. So let me show you how that works. Because if you want to change the background, you can go to this gear and go here to background and change it from pastel to a dark watercolor. See, like this,
Oh, yeah.
or a light watercolor, or a swoosh watercolor, we call it, like that. See,
Yes.
or the user could put in a custom color, and we also have 3D backgrounds that are possible. So you look at this 3D background. I'll put on the water effect because it's more obvious. And the 3D the background is different because that rotates with the player. See?
Oh, yeah.
That's what's called a there's a name for it. It's called equirectangular background, a 3D background. But we want to talk more about the 2D ones, and we have a template that can be used that shows you all the dimensions. Here's what our template looks like. It'll take a second to load. Everything's slow when I share my screen. See, vertical, horizontal, square.
Yeah.
Because the actual shape of the canvas can be changed. Here, look. I can go over here, choose this first pose, and I can do horizontal. See?
Yes, yeah.
And I don't even know if the 3D background works when you change it over to the canvas. So you can go horizontal, or you can do square. Turn this player around. Yeah, so let's see here. The equirectangular doesn't work if it's not the right size, I guess. So what are our to-dos? We could come up with more backgrounds. That's one to do for a 2D background. And a more immediate to-do is having to do with these overlays, because we have a new feature that lets you put a frame around the canvas. Let me show you.
Okay.
Here, I'll show you with the frame.
Sorry, my cameras, it's not good.
That's okay. So you can choose, see where it says canvas elements? I can choose overlay.
Yes, I see.
And then I can edit the overlay and select a generic frame. And the frame is an SVG file that has variables in it. Do you work with CSS by hand? Have you done that?
Yes, I work by hand. I create many portraits. How freelancer, I have many experience about it. But didn't have experience many in 3D Blender. Yeah. But
so you haven't worked much with Blender, you said?
yes. But I had.
So what we need right now is not so much the 3D work as we need the 2D work, because like here's one frame, but really we want it looking like we have other frames here. Let me show you that we created that look very nice and fancy. And the idea is we don't want the frame just to have two colors in it. We want it to have the colors that change to match the team's color. There are 30 different hockey teams,
Okay.
right? And so here's an example of a fancier kind of frame. It'll load in a minute. Maybe it'll be faster if I turn off my camera. Hang on.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, so see, this frame here is a lot fancier, and you can see it has two colors in it, the blue and the red,
I see.
and it has gradients also.
Yeah.
So have you ever looked at the inside of an SVG file to look at the actual codes that are inside an SVG file?
What is this file?
An
Ah,
SVG file.
Yeah.
So basically, here's the to-do. Transform one of the more draft designs into a working family of frames. So are you a Mac user or a PC user?
I use PC user.
PC, right. So, if you edit an SVG file using Notepad, you see all the codes, right?
Yes.
So are you experienced using the SVG files? Have you ever created them using Adobe Illustrator?
I use Illustrator and I create vector graphic.
Right. And have you ever saved your vector graphics as SVG?
Honestly, no, but I know about this file.
Yeah. So the nice thing about SVG is that you can use CSS styles for it. So instead of having something like rectangle color equals blue, X equals, 14, all the coordinates, you can have rectangle class equals, main style, or let's do this, class equals team color 1. And then this will work with CSS files that say team color 1 background hashtag CCCCCC, whatever it is. So are you familiar with CSS commands like this?
No.
And have you worked with CSS files before?
Honestly, no.
Not yet. Okay. And so what is your main experience in? Is it using tools like Adobe Illustrator or just using tools like Photoshop? What is your main expertise?
I use Procreate and Illustrator.
And what is Procreate? What is that tool for?
I just create many layers, and when I end my work, I created the file in PNG or image.
So is Procreate a tool that is similar to Photoshop?
Yes, it's similar to Photoshop. And I use it because it's for me more easy.
And I saw your 3D examples on the site on somewhere. That and for those, did you use Blender mostly, or did you use other tools?
I use Uh, Blender, yeah. I don't work any 3D programs like Maya or 3D
Hmm.
Max. I don't work.
Yeah, but and how familiar are you with Blender? Would you say?
Uh, I use for create short animation
Hmm.
and it's all. Yeah.
Hmm. And are you a I can't remember. Are you an artist as well, or just do you do graphic design, or do you do other things like actual painting?
Uh, I work in traditional art more, and also I work digital and
Hmm.
most this Illustrator
Hmm.
and
And what?
little I work in Blender. I create short animation
Hmm.
uh, and little.
Hmm. And what when you create standard art, what style of art did you create? Did you go to school, or do you just like to paint or draw by yourself?
Yes, I teacher in art school. I
Hmm.
work in art school children and I work in watercolor uh, painting many lots time uh, and oil. I work in traditional art, but I work in digital too.
Hmm.
Uh,
Do you have other examples besides what I saw on Upwork of your traditional art?
yes, I can upload some pictures. I before I create many portraits digital uh, like cartoonish,
Hmm.
but it's so realistic portrait portraits.
Hmm.
And I have many examples I can send you show this.
Yeah, I would just yeah, just a few. You could send me a couple of your hand done art, as well as if you have any digital art that you did that is in a watercolor style. I'd be interested to see that also.
Okay, I will be sent.
Mhm. And what sort of hours are you looking for? Like, are you looking for a lot of hours a week, or do you only have room for a few hours per week? What is your situation there?
Um, I can I now in the vacation and I have many times and I can work mm, 20 times in week.
Okay. And what I know you're based in Ukraine. What general hours do you work Ukraine time that you're open? I just want to get a sense of when it is that you are able to work on assignments in terms of time of the day.
Free time, my free time.
Yeah, no, in terms of when are you available for freelance work? Is it at the morning time in the Ukraine or evening like now? When is it that you are free?
Um, I'm free for all days, but I don't free when I sleep.
Right, right. Okay, so there's no set time, there's no particular time that you work.
Yeah. Um, I
Okay.
I don't know how set this hours because I've first time when I work it.
Mhm. Have you done many assignments before using the Upwork platform?
Uh, I don't experience.
Not too
I
much
don't have.
yet with using Upwork.
Yes, I'm using a work, but I don't have a job any.
Mhm.
I'm just want to make this your proposition because I uh, have uh, a lot experience in traditional art and watercolor, and
Mhm.
I have experience digital. Uh, I like draw in watercolor painting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to. So definitely, when you can, send me a few of your watercolor samples because as you saw maybe from our website, that's the style of our website is to have it, everything look like it was sort of painted in that style.
Okay. Um,
So good. Oh, so send me some samples when you can, and in the next couple of days, we'll be able to figure out who we can bring on to continue the work. Making watercolor backgrounds and improving the functionality of that tool that I showed you that lets users move players around and put their own little artwork choices into the graphic, because people like to talk about sports on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And we want to give those people a tool to not just let them type in words about the players that they like, but also include a customized graphic. That's our goal.
okay, I understand. Um, what we have next? Uh,
So yeah, so now we have some to dos that we're talking to people about working on now, and at this stage I'm talking to people like yourself, and I'd love to see some examples of your artwork besides what you have up at Upwork under your profile, and so you can share that with me, and I can ask you some further questions about that in Upwork messages, and we'll see if there's a good fit.
okay. Um, I want to know what you mm, what you think about me. Um, I good worker.
Well, I mean, we have to see some other samples. We want somebody who's very good at Adobe Illustrator. That's a requirement. It's also nice that you have some experience with 3D tools. We also, understanding how SVG works and how to transform, because Adobe Illustrator lets you export the file in the format called SVG, but then we need to actually open up the SVG file in Notepad or some tool like Notepad. And when you look inside and see an SVG file, you'll know what I'm talking about. Whenever it says a hard coded color equals blue, we need to be using HTML and CSS. So that's also a something that we're looking for, as well. And I don't know whether it's from the same person or a different person, but it's just it's additional work we need is someone not just to create a really nice graphic, but to help the graphic work within our system so that when you go to a different player, the colors change. Instead of being blue and orange, the colors will be red and yellow. It all depends on which sports team, the particular player is on. And that's the beauty of SVG is that you can have the web page change the colors right away. So we don't have to take an image and we create 32 different versions of this image for the 32 teams. You don't have to do that. The software itself, the browser and JavaScript and CSS can change the SVG to be using different colors.
Okay, how you look if I made some small work? If you send me free.
Well, I could send, yeah, I could send you a short little assignment, and just to see if you understand what we're looking to do. You know, so send me your pictures first, and I can send you a short little thing. And if you can figure that out, then that would help us understand where your skills are.
Small task.
Yeah, very small. So that so I'll do that if you send me your examples, and I'll give you a little assignment that it fits in for what we need to have done.
Okay, and I sent you link about my work in traditional.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, additional examples.
It's not now because I have prepared. Don't prepare.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Okay.
That's fine.
But if you can send me a task, I want to make it free. First task that you can see what I do.
Okay, I'll send you a small little assignment.
Okay. After this, we can see how it's next.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, and how do you pronounce your first name?
Vadim.
Vadim.
Okay.
Okay. Well, good. Well, good. Thank you for staying up and chatting with me tonight, and we'll exchange further things tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.